So there's some news that came out. There was a study that dropped about the time during the pandemic. There was skyrocketing alcoholism deaths. So take a look at this here. This is in Raw Story, originally in the New York Daily News. Alcohol-related deaths rose 25% in first year of pandemic, study finds. So let me give you some of the body of the article here. Alcohol-involved deaths increased 25% in 2020 from 2019. According to research published Friday, from 1997 to 2017, the average year-over-year increase was only 2%. Previous studies found that alcohol consumption increased sharply in 2020 as well. In 2020, 99,017 people died from alcohol-related causes. In 2019, that number was only 78,927 people. Quote, "We're not surprised. It's unfortunate, but we sort of expected to see something like this," the study's lead author, Aaron White, told CNN. "It's not uncommon for people to drink more when they're under more duress. The increase occurred across all age groups," is what that goes on to say. So, I mean, there's a couple points to make about this. The first one is alcohol deaths are rising massively, but there is no chatter in the country about, like, let's ban alcohol. Now, I think that's a good thing. I don't think we should ban alcohol. But I do find it interesting, the cognitive dissonance and the double standards that we have in regards to other substances, where whenever a substance that's already illegal, whenever, the deaths on that rose, people go, well, then it's good that we have it banned. We should, like, ban it harder. So it's weird how with alcohol, we just sort of grandfathered in all of the negative consequences that go along with it. Now, again, I'm in favor of grandfathering in the negative consequences, just to be clear. But it is funny that we don't have that reaction ever about, like, alcohol deaths rose, therefore ban alcohol, but any other drug, we probably would have that feeling of, like, well, we should really crack down on this. So you guys know my take on this stuff. I think it should be legal, taxed, and regulated, all the various drugs. You know, the ones that have, like, no upsides to it, you could sort of regulate out of existence, like bath salts or whatever, fentanyl. But a lot of drugs should be legal, taxed, and regulated, and give people the choice, give people the option. I also would have rehab available as part of a Medicare for All system so people can get substance abuse treatment if it's needed. But the other point here is, like, why? Why did this happen? Why was there such an increase in alcohol-related deaths during the first year of the pandemic? And, you know, the variety of answers, but I think people felt uniquely stressed, and they felt, there was this feeling of hopelessness and this feeling of anxiety and distress during the entire pandemic, where you're trying to keep yourself safe, you're trying to keep your family safe. A lot of people had experiences where family members passed away and died, and that could lead to excess drinking. And when people are isolated and alone and there's really not many social gatherings or other things to do, you're going to lean on the substances more. And so this is one of the side effects and consequences of going through such a tumultuous time. And, you know, in one sense, you look at it and you say, I'm surprised deaths only rose 25% in the first year of the pandemic. I wouldn't be surprised if they rose 80%. Alcohol-related deaths rose 80%. So this goes hand in hand with all those other studies about increase in psychological illnesses. There was an increase in domestic violence. People cooped up together for extended periods of time, and some people just snap and bad things happen. So it's not good. But again, I think the solution here is more, we should have universal rehab treatment centers in the same way we should have a universal healthcare system. And that would definitely help people with this. People having access to counseling, people having access to experts who can help is really the only solution. I certainly wouldn't recommend banning alcohol or regulating it more strictly, but I also think we should be consistent on that front with other substances, which unfortunately people aren't. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.